Whatever it is for you, I need you to think. I need you to consider. As soon as you're done listening to this episode, I need you to ponder for a little bit and think to yourself, what is it that I need to make a decision about and just stick to it?
Most hosts never achieve the results they hoped for. They're falling short on listenership and monetization, meaning their message isn't being heard and their show ends up costing them money. This podcast was created to help you grow your listenership and make money while you're at it. Get ready to take notes. Here's your host, Adam Adams.
Hey, podcaster, it's your host, Adam Adams, and I want to talk about something that successful people do a little bit differently than less successful people. And that is making a decision and sticking to it. So this episode today is going to be short. It's going to be a motivational episode. It's going to give you some insight on success and what it means to you, what you need to do in order to get it. Successful people make a decision and then they take action on that decision. Less successful people, those of us that struggle, we are reluctant to make that initial decision. We move through it and we kind of try a little bit of stuff, but we never commit. We never really go full bore. Think of a rhinoceros. Think of a rhino at the African jungle. They will put their head down and they will charge. They just put their head down and charge. They make a decision, they commit to it, they go forward, and they bulldoze everything out of their way as they do that, as they put their head down and they stay committed. So I'm encouraging you today, whether you need it for your podcast, to hire a company like ours to take off all of the hard stuff, like the post-production and all of the graphics and emailing your guest for you. Maybe you need that. Maybe that'll help you save 12 hours a week. Or maybe you need to start doing some marketing for your company. Maybe it's that you need to start doing social media more. Perhaps you've avoided social media because you're afraid. You're scared. You're not sure. You're a little timid. You're like, I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm not sure if I want to do this on social media. Or I'm not sure if I got the money, so I don't want to pay for some marketing. I can do it as good as I need it to edit my own podcast. And I don't mind spending those 12 hours a week editing one episode. And so I'm not going to do that. Whatever it is for you, I need you to think. I need you to consider. As soon as you're done listening to this episode, I need you to ponder for a little bit and think to yourself, what is it that I need to make a decision about and just stick to it? I'll be a little vulnerable and be honest with you about something that I'm doing. And I went and did my bodybuilding competition. And then in the next day and a half, I think I gained 16 pounds from 186 or 0.9, like about 187 pounds, up to 203 pounds. In just the next day. It was like the afternoon of the one day and then the evening of the following day, I gained 16 pounds. Yeah, of course, it can't all be fat. It can't all be muscle. It can't all be water. It's a combination of things. I probably ate a lot of food. It got stuck in my gut. I was probably on a calorie deficit. The point being that I gained it real fast and then it was hard to get it off. It was hard to get those 203. I'm not now back to 187. I'm not yet there. It's going off much slower than it came back. It's going off much slower. And I was reluctant. Listen, this is today's takeaway. I was reluctant. I felt like I put my heart and soul into fitness for so long. I counted calories. I ate many, many meals a day at exact times of the day. I worked out 6 days a week and it got great results, but I was tired and I wasn't ready to commit. I hired a strength coach and I wasn't quite ready to commit. And so I was kind of flopping because I didn't make a decision and stick to it. Now, just a couple of days ago, I'm recording this on a Saturday, and on Wednesday is the day that I went to the gym. And I got there and my heart wasn't all in it. And I was trying to ask myself, should I just leave? Should I just quit? Should I just not do this new challenge of strength? It's basically a CrossFit total. Anybody knows that. It's like powerlifting. So I'm looking for a CrossFit total of 1,000 pounds or a powerlifting total of 1,125 pounds. Those are my goals. And I hired a coach to do that, but I'm floundering. I go on a vacation. I was in Tulum this week and I came back on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I was feeling like, hey, I didn't work out on Monday because I drank too much on Sunday night. And so I just didn't feel like working out on on Monday. And then on Tuesday was like a travel day. So I did not sleep hardly at all because I wanted to make sure that I caught my cab on time. So I got 2 hours sleep and then we fly, then we drive and then we fly and then we land. I get home and I did not feel like I had the energy to go to the gym that late. And so Wednesday comes around, an option in motion stays in motion. An object that's stagnant usually will just stay stagnant. It's hard to change inertia. If something's moving, it stays moving unless something physically stops it. If it's still, it stays still unless something physically moves it. And after a Monday and a Tuesday, I got into that I feel like I'm staying still place. And I have dedication. I have discipline. So I showed up, but with a pissy attitude, with a I don't want to be here attitude. Am I even sure I want to do this? And so I contemplated and I thought, and this is what you're going to do after you listen to this episode. And I thought about my fitness and what my real goals are and why would I do it and why wouldn't I do it? And it was then and there that I made the decision that I'm going to enjoy it. And so I smiled. By the way, when you smile, you release endorphins in your body that makes you happy. Using your smile muscles releases, what is the best way to say it? Releases oxytocin. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Oxytocin. And now you're all of a sudden you feel happy and healthy. So I did that. I made the commitment. I made the decision. I said, hey, I shouldn't be doing this. I feel stagnant. It's not easy to get started moving when you've been still for a while. Now, this works with your podcast. This works with your business and certainly works with your health or religion or your family. In this case, for me, I'm using my health as an example. But for you, when you leave this podcast, it might be religion or family or health or your podcast or your business. I need you to make a commitment to do something and to go full bore in it. I committed that I would enjoy the gym. And so I got a new energy just after I smiled. And after I decided, I got a new energy. And then I went back the next day with vigor, with enthusiasm, and I crushed it. I got done with all of my workouts much faster than I normally do because I was excited about it, because I tricked myself the day before, because I kicked my ass and got myself in motion. And now I'm staying in motion. Friday, same thing, go back. Today's Saturday. I'm halfway tempted to go. I want to go. I'm like, this is great. I don't want to take a day off. I love it. I love the way that I feel after I go. And you're going to love the way after you hire my company to support you with your podcast. You're going to love the way you feel. You're going to say, this is great. Why didn't I do it sooner? You're going to love the way you feel when you make those sales calls, when you follow back up with the people that you already did as a discovery call with. When you do that, you're going to feel better. When you go to the gym, you're going to feel better. When you call your mother and you're like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, you're going to feel better. And now you're an object in motion and you're likely to stay in motion. So the difference between successful people and non-successful people is that they make a decision and then they stick to it no matter what. Tony Robbins always says the only way that you're going to take the island is if you burn the boats. You and your Vikings come to take over an island. You keep your ships there. You've got a way out. But when you're decided and committed that this is the thing you're going to do no matter what, you get rid of plan B and you just do the thing. I'll see you on the next episode. Oh, hey, because 3 of my clients came to me recently looking to find a way to have their podcast make them money instead of cost them money. We put together a resource for some of our clients, and I want to give it to you as well. It's something that did actually seem to help because one of them is now making $2,600 a month. Another one's $4,500 a month. And the third is making between $5,000 and $10,000 each month. And so it's been a resource that's been incredibly valuable to them. It's our sponsor sheet template. It's a template of a sponsor sheet, and it gives you something that you can hand to potential sponsors and hopefully also be making $2,600, $4,500, or between $5,000 and $10,000 regularly each month with your podcast. So this has been a contributing factor to helping all 3 of those clients turn their podcast into an additional income stream for them. And the way that you can find it is just going to our website, growyourshow.com, but put in /templates, growyourshow.com/templates. And then you can actually download that template and others that could be valuable to your podcasting experience. I'll see you on the next episode.